Good afternoon. Welcome everybody to the National Extension College virtual open event. We'll just leave it a few seconds for people to join us. If you want to say hello, do write in the chat. It'd be nice to hear from you, whether you're a current student or somebody considering being a student or supporting somebody with their learning journey. So I can see lots of people are joining, so thank you very much. Do say hello. Please do say if you're a current student. It'd be lovely to hear from you, or somebody supporting somebody with their decisions around their education. I'm going to start. So welcome, another welcome. Thank you to join National Extension College. This is a series of webinars we do, but this one's really focused on explaining who we are as an organisation and how we support you and those you are supporting with their education. I'm delighted to be joined by a large number of our team, which is really excellent. So on the screen, you can see Sarah Turner, who's our Director of Quality and Assessment, who'll be co-presenting with me. Kirsten Butler, who's part of the student support team and supports our UCAS service. Karen Nash, who's our Pastoral Officer and SENCO. Alison Edwards, who's our Education Quality Manager. And then we've got a member of our course advice team, our team leader, Laura. And we'll also be able to be joined later by our exams and assessment manager. So lots of us here. So if you've got questions for all of these people, please note them down. They're going to join us later on for the Q&A. Myself, Sarah and Karen will be taking you through a little bit about the college and our model of learning. So we'll bring everybody else back for the Q&A. So think of some really difficult questions for them. I'm sure they'll be pleased to try and answer those. So what are we going to do today? We're going to, in the hour we've got, we're just going to talk a little bit about who we are, what our model of learning is. It's distance learning, but I'm really going to unpick that for you and help you understand how our model works. Hear from some of our students, either as sort of some testimonials or some video from students, hear about our tutors and how our tutors work with you, and then the other services we offer to really equip you for your learning, which is our pastoral support and additional services we can provide you. So the National Extension College, we were established a long time ago in 1963. So we had a lovely birthday party in 2023. So we're over 60 years old now. So we're quite good at what we do. We've been doing it for many years. Obviously started out as a correspondence college and have now moved to a really high-tech online digital learning. So we deliver distance learning, which some of you may not quite understand the terminology. Distance learning is really like self-study, self-directed learning. And it was a concept that was started by Sir Michael Young, who also piloted and started the Open University. So we do collaborate very closely with the Open University. You'll see some upcoming events we have in the spring with our colleagues and friends at the Open University as well, because we're a similar model of distance learning. We're also not for profit. That's really important to us. We have a very strong mission and values around what we do. We are here to really support the vision and mission that Sir Michael Young had, which is making learning and education accessible for all. So that's who we are. Our results. So it's important to acknowledge that we do specialise in GCSEs and A-levels, and I'll talk a little bit about our courses in a minute. But we are really incredibly proud of our students. Each one really unique, as we are human beings, we're incredibly unique. So each education journey, education background is incredibly unique as well. So what success looks like to one student could be an A star in further maths and progression to their university, their dream university, Or it could be for somebody else a grade 4 pass in a GCSE English, just giving them the next step in their career. So each celebration is really pivotal to that person's life and the ripples that has, the positivity that brings to their life, their goals, and to those who love and look after them. So we really hold that really close in all we do, and those who are enrolled with us at the heart of everything that we do. So what is distance learning? It's a good question. You may have been asking that. So we've moved away from a sort of one size fits all. So if you think about traditional education, teachers do an amazing job of looking after a number of students in one classroom to support such an individual abilities and learning styles. So what we provide is a learning approach which is around freedom to choose between maybe a slightly structured, timetabled program or a fully self-study program, which is a route to balance your life, your learning, and your needs in a way that suits you. So you dictate how you want to learn, and you can then pull in other services and other support. So that might be sort of reaching out to our pastoral team or organising some one-to-ones with a tutor if you need support. So we like to keep our fees streamlined to the real core of what independent learning is, and then people can choose other services that they need to bring in. But at the heart of it, you can study at a time that suits you and in a way that suits you. And we'll talk later on with Sarah and Karen about our tutors and the role they have within your learning, and then Karen around the support that the pastoral team offer students, whether that's a little bit as you need it or a programme of support that will be there for you. And our students do come from a huge range of backgrounds, as you would expect. We start from age 13 up to whatever age anybody wants to study with us. They've got a common goal, which is the desire to learn and to think about something new. And they tell us that the flexibility is the biggest advantage of this type of learning model. It can allow you space to translate concepts and complex learning into something that works for you. You can go back over things in your own time. You can move ahead if you've actually understood something. Take little tests throughout the course to just check your learning, and then deep dive into a wider area if you've got the time. Something's really sparked a bit of curiosity. Go off and think about that, learn about that as well. But all it's doing is presenting you with a way to learn which suits you and is accessible for you and is really inclusive. So you manage your studies around your personal life and your needs. So it's lovely to hear from some of our students there. Lady at the top, Jill, I did interview Jill myself, and a really lovely journey from a mature lady who had decided, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me calling her a mature lady, decided to move from a set career into a new career, studying our A-level history of art. And our students really, as I said, you can see our case studies on our website. You really get a sense of the variety of journeys, and you might see something about yourself in some of those stories, which helps you see that this could be an option for you.
Studying with the NEC, my experience has been that I can hop on the computer when I'm, finished with work, when I've got some time over the weekends, in the evenings if I need to, and I can start to progress through the course at my own pace, which I really thoroughly enjoy doing. I feel like, I have access to a tutor. I can do my submissions online. It's very easy, the platform to use and get familiar with. So I have, confidently started navigating my way around how NEC works, and I feel like it is really working for me.
So that's Gloria, who studied A-level classical civilization with us. One of the things we're really pleased about is that our students can study a variety of subjects, maybe subjects that you wouldn't be able to access in your school. So you may still continue with your school studies, but you can choose a subject to study outside of that time. Really good reminder came up from the team around questions. We've got a great Q&A session at the end. So do type your questions into the chat if you'd like, or just note them down on a little bit of paper if something sparks a query, and we can get to those near the end of the session. So we're now going to run through really the life cycle of your journey with us. So how do you decide on your course, and work through how the learning works for you and the additional support. So hopefully by the end, you've got a real sense of how the National Extension College works and how it works for you. Sorry, just clicking back. There. So first port of call, I introduced Laura earlier. Laura is the team leader for our course advice team. Now, it may be you've gone onto the website and you can read a lot about the different courses and some student stories, and you've got a sense of what you want to do. Maybe you need specific qualifications, or it could be you're exploring what types of subjects. And we have a great team, course advice team, really willing to have a call with you. They're very experienced. They have all the knowledge of our courses at their fingertips. They can answer any question. Laura may argue with that, but really, they're really good to really sort of have a little chat to. And that can be on email if you're not comfortable on the phone. They can send you information, direct you to where information is on the website, just to really help you make that important decision. You can see a wide range of courses we have. A-levels, we've got a huge suite of A-levels, so we definitely know there's something for everybody there. GCSEs, we've got core GCSEs and a wide variety of slightly unusual ones. GCSE Astronomy is one that's very popular because it's not often delivered in schools. And then we do have vocational qualifications as well, so a variety of qualifications that you might want to just sort of butt alongside some of the more formal qualifications if you would like. And I just draw your attention to AS as well. AS levels, when I was younger, everybody took an AS level. It was sort of something you did. They changed a little bit around how they operate, and the team and our website explains that a little bit more. But it's really a good way of adding a little bit more knowledge and breadth. So I'd encourage you to think about A-levels if you are either studying GCSEs or you're embarking on an A-level course of study. So lots to explore. Really do use our website and have a look at case studies, the sorts of choices other people have made. And then you can book a call with us on our website and book a time that's convenient to you to talk to one of our course advice team. And I'm just going to highlight two specific courses to you. These are programs of study. As I've said at the beginning, our core model is very much self-directed, really works around the timetable you want to develop for yourself. But we recognise some people would like a little bit more structure, not so much as a 9 o'clock bell that's ringing to get you online, but a little bit more structure around your learning. So you still have that flexibility, but we've put two programs together, a structured fast track A-level program, which is there for really students who are looking to take A-level programs within a year and are really looking and have their eye on progression to university. And then structured GCSE program, which has got a lot of care and support underpinning it alongside the live delivery as well. So both really popular courses. That you join a cohort of students in the structured GCSE program. You have a personal learning tutor who can meet with you and your parents. And we have a lot of support, mocks, some pastoral, holistic care that you can take part in. And in structured fast track A-levels, we also have a UCAS support there as well. And we'll talk about UCAS and university progression later. So we've tailored these to meet the needs of the student body that we have. Students can enrol on our standard, which is obviously very popular, but these have additional support wrapped into them, which we know some people really benefit from. You can find much more about our structured programs on our website, and we'll be opening enrolments for those in the spring. So you can register your interest and gain a little bit more information on those later on.
Let's have a look around your course. base and how to navigate important parts of your learning platform. This is your course main page. When you first logged in, you would have seen your dashboard, which you can always return to by clicking up here. You will find any other courses that you are enrolled on here inside My Courses. Click on the contents icon on the left-hand side of the page to open or close the course contents. You can use the course contents list to move around inside your course. On the right-hand side, there is a block drawer that you can click to open or close. Here you can find useful information at a glance, including this completion progress tracker. Each of the course items will turn green when you have completed or interacted with them. The latest announcements from the course forum also appear here. When you have marked an item as completed or made an assignment submission, these items will turn green in your contents list. You can activate LearnerEDC's accessibility toolbar underneath your profile initials or image. You can use this toolbar to change things like font size and color scheme. The middle panel contains your main course content. We recommend hiding the contents list and the block drawer until you need them. This means that your course materials can fill your screen without any extra text to distract you. Your course companion will always be at the top of your course page because it contains information or resources that you will need to keep using throughout your studies. The course guide is located here, which is your go-to document for general information about your course, including the specification, the course structure, and any equipment that you'll need. The course companion also includes the course forums and your learning journal. Just above your course materials, you will see the About Assessment section. Inside here, you will find details about the specific assessment requirements for your course, as well as a link to the NEC exams page, which contains everything you need to know about assessment, from exam centres to fees. Let's have a look at the course materials. Here is section 1. At the top is your introduction and progress checker. Make sure you read this information before you start working through the learning material for the section, as it tells you the learning outcomes, links to the exam board specification, how long this section might take, as well as the resources and equipment that you'll need. All the parts of the section are listed at the bottom. You can use this list to navigate to each item by clicking on the blue icon, and you can also tick off each item when you have completed it. Next, you can move on to each of the topics. These contain most of your learning material. We'll have a look at working through a topic in more detail later in the 5 steps to getting started. It is important to work through the sections and the topics in order. This is because the learning material has been developed so that each topic builds on the knowledge you gained in the previous topics. Underneath your topics, you will see an assignment submission activity. You'll be ready to do your assignment when you have studied all the topics in a section. Assignments are usually based on exam-style questions and are a great opportunity to get personalised feedback from your tutor. Here you can see the assignment instructions file and where to upload your submission. You will find more information about completing and submitting assignments later in the 5 steps to getting started. Every section ends with a feedback activity, where you can let us know what you think of the section you've just studied. When you're ready to tackle a new section, you can move backwards and forwards through the sections using the directional arrows here or here, or you can go back and use your contents panel.
So that's the introduction to the A-level geography, so from the course. A few things to pick out there, which I think will be really useful to understand how the learning model works. Firstly, you can go through the course at a pace and time that suits you. So you work through the topics in order, as Helen, the online manager, said. And there's little quizzes and formative assessment activities throughout. And then at the end of each section, you have a formal assignment to upload, and that's preparing you for the final assessment. We support you with the NEA, so lots of instructions around the non-examined assessment, say, for example, in geography, which is the field work. And throughout, you have the course forums and the messaging platform, so you can communicate with your tutor, or you can post something to the group of students who are studying with you. So lots of ways to tailor, as I've said, the course learning for you. If you're just wanting to sit and go through the material on your own, you can do, or you can engage in the forum and discuss particular bits with other students. So that's just a little demo of an introduction to one of the courses.
Hello, I'm Colleen Young, an NEC tutor. I first worked for NEC back in the 90s, in fact, and was delighted to return more recently. I'm now lead tutor for mathematics. I'm privileged to teach a wonderful variety of students of all ages, perhaps young students who are home educated or older students who in fact maybe still at school but perhaps studying an A-level that their school doesn't offer. So they might be doing some A-levels at school and another one with us. People also study by distance learning courses with us because they want a career change, so they need to study new subjects. It's that second chance which courses like this offer you. And NEC courses, they do work really well, I find, because the courses, they're designed for distance learning, which means that you can study at a time and a pace that suits you. I was doing one of our masterclasses recently and had a discussion with a young student who says that she loves to sort of study what she wants when she wants and not be dictated to by bells. As well as the support of subject tutors, our students have the support of a whole pastoral team. So that's brilliant. I love the fact that we have a dedicated pastoral officer. A lot of my own students have actually used the pastoral support that NEC offers. As an organisation, it's really concerned with sort of well-being for all in the organisation, in fact, all the students and the staff as well. It's really rewarding to see my students develop mathematically and gain confidence in the subject. And it's great that, you know, we can help them be the best they can individually be. That's what's important. It may be that they've got that GCSE qualification that enables them to pursue whatever ambition they may have. It may be that they try to go to university. So, you know, and all is possible. It's that second chance I referred to earlier again. I'm really proud to work for this organisation that makes a difference to so many students. NEC strives to be the best it can be and thinks about future developments. So with that thought, here's to the next 60 years.
So a thank you to Colleen, who is not with us today, and thank you to Esther for handing over to me. So hopefully what you're starting to get is a bit of a feel for what self-directed learning might mean for you and what it might look like with NEC. And crucially, really what you've heard from Colleen there is it doesn't mean that you're alone. So what you've got in the background, Colleen is one of a number of excellent tutors with whom we work at NEC, and these people have fabulous subject expertise, and it will be these tutors that will give you personalised feedback on those assignments that we were looking at in the course overview just a few moments ago. So that feedback that's personalised for you on the assignment that you submitted to your tutor. Additionally, as part of that course overview as well, we had a little look at the online forums, which are really important. So this might be an area where you could post questions for your tutor to come back and answer questions around, you know, you might be struggling or you might need a little bit of additional help, and your tutor can support you there. But it also means that although your learning is self-directed, it's collaborative, because those forums are there in order to allow you to communicate with one another, communicate with your tutor, and also communicate and talk about topics with your peers as well. Thank you, Esther. So we'll just go back to the slide before. I want you to see the vast array of wonderful tutors that we work with. There you go on our screen there. And just a little bit about our tutors specifically. Everybody that works with NEC is a qualified teacher. That's really important to us and to the model, so you know that you're getting an expert support with your learning. More importantly as well, a great deal of them are also examiners. So there's a sense that you're getting this kind of insider view and expertise about what you need to do in order to meet the needs of your examination and to meet the assessment criteria. So that's really helpful. And obviously, crucially, each one of these people that we work with has an enhanced DBS, so you know that you're working within a safe environment. Thank you, Esther. And finally, just for me, we also have our wonderful student support team. So these are the people that will help you through your journey to becoming a student with NEC. So your first port of call is very much within the platform, and we like your learning experience to be sort of situated within the platform. So there's a self-service hub on Learn at NEC, which is where you can find hopefully a lot of the questions that you might have. But from time to time, you might want a more personal touch. You might want to get in touch with our student support team directly, and they can also advise you about our bolt-on services. So it may well be that you're interested in one of our subject masterclasses, or you might want one-to-one tutorials, and that would be something that our student support team could guide you with and help you with. And we also have a service that allows for past paper marking. So if you've sat a past paper and you'd like some personalised feedback on that as a way to check your learning and check your progress, then that's also a service that we offer. And I think that I won't steal my colleague Karen's thunder about the pastoral support service, so I will leave that there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Lovely. And it's nice to see pictures of all our tutors, obviously many more than that. So it's nice to get a few pictures. I talked a little bit earlier around about UCAS. NEC is a UCAS centre, and Kirsten, as I said, will be available. Don't inundate her with questions, but she's there to answer any of your questions. We do always have a UCAS webinar in the summer, actually. So if you haven't signed up for alerts from NEC, either on Eventbrite or through our newsletter, then please do. If you're a student with us at that time, you will get notification of the webinar so that you can join it and really have a deep dive into how UCAS operates and how it operates for NEC students. But we can provide our tutors, as Sarah said, very experienced and professional. They can provide predictor grades, academic references. There's lots of information on our learning platform to support you with UCAS and guide you through the process. And as I said, there's a team there who can support you with any questions that you have. We're really proud of our students and as I said at the beginning, their journeys and where they go and what they do. It's always lovely, a slide like this, isn't it? It just sort of demonstrates progression, but there's so much behind that. It's sort of these blocks of these lovely sort of courses and opportunities that people are taking their first step into the world and into a career. But I'm sure you all appreciate lots has happened to get there, and some people it's been relatively straightforward. For others, it's been a real challenge. So every step is worth celebrating, whether that person has managed to get an offer at the university or has just managed to gain some grades to move forward. But some really interesting courses, and our tutors love to see where their students have progressed to. Really exciting to see what, and it's a real element. We do find students that have studied as a distance learning have developed that independence and often can transition into university life a little bit more easily. That whole aspect of autonomy of learning and that sort of agency you have over your own learning, you've already developed that through the model of learning with us. So that works, we find, really well. I'm going to hand to Karen now. Hello, Karen.
Hello. Hi, everybody. So we believe that there are foundations that are really useful for students to help support learning. and I deliver a Wellbeing for Learning programme, which is 6 sessions, so 6 hours over the course of a year, and we run through the whole learning journey, and that's to really support students, and also it not only provides information, but it also gives students a chance to connect and be online at the same time. And some of our students find that really useful to know that there are other students out there studying with NEC. They're not the only person. And we also have a group of pastoral tutors who will who are all trained to look at diverse learning needs, and to understand different students. I am also SENCO trained, so I'm the pastoral officer, and I'm also SENCO. So I do specialise with ensuring students have the support that they need and the tools. And students can book a call with me to have a conversation about anything that's going on, for example. And it doesn't always have to be academic. If you're worried about your studies, you're feeling anxious about learning, then you can have a call. I'm a good listener, so you can have a chat about what's going on for you. But also, I could help with study skills and executive function skills. So we can look at a whole range of things, and students can have 3 sessions with me throughout the course of their studies, and they can be taken at any time. I think it's really useful for students to have that conversation, and sometimes it can help get back on track. I'm also a lifelong learner, so I understand it from your point of view as well as from NEC's point of view. And if you wanted to have more intensive personalised help, then you can actually have additional support, and engage one of our pastoral tutors. We have a ever-growing team, so if you wanted to have additional support, then you can have support. Okay, Esther, can we go on to the next slide, please? Thank you. So our courses are built with accessibility at the core, because we want to make sure that we're providing inclusive learning. And as we've already mentioned, our studying with NEC is really flexible. You can study at any time of day, any day of the week, whenever it works for you. And if you find that you're struggling a little bit, then you might want to have a little bit of a break, just to help you get back on track again. So you've got time to do that when you're studying with NEC. And we are and our courses do accommodate diverse needs. Obviously, if there's anything that you're struggling with, then you can get in touch with our pastoral team and we'll help you. We have multimedia content, we have digital tools, so that we're catering for different learning styles, and we want to make sure that our students have an equitable learning experience. As I've mentioned, we have a pastoral team. They're really dedicated, and they're all trained, so that they will help to identify and respond to needs of all students. We really want to make sure that our students feel safe and supported, because we know that when students feel safe and supported, then they can thrive with their learning. We also have a group, we have, as we've mentioned, a wonderful group of tutors who've been trained across their subject areas, and they also have been through our internal training to help them understand and be more aware of inclusivity, and accessibility. So, if any tutor needs additional support, then they can come to me, and I can give them additional support with anything that's going on. Our tutors provide tailored support for every student, and we want to make sure that we have expertise in all areas. And we also have ongoing professional development for all of our tutors so that they stay updated with the latest teaching practices. Thank you.
Sorry, I've got such a lag on my... Great, I've taken myself off mute. Thank you so much, Karen. Lovely that people can meet you, and there may be some questions for the sort of support that we can offer. And it's interesting, isn't it, when somebody thinks of pastoral support, and they think, oh, that's not what I need. But as you say, it could be just about study skills. It could just be, what's it like to study online? Because that's so different, isn't it? And also, oh, I'm coming back to study as an adult. I'm not sure where to start. How do I fit this in around my life? Or I'm struggling with some anxiety around my learning. So many different things I know you and the team really support. But at the heart of it, it's just how can I move forward? I've got a goal I want to achieve, and how do I get there? So that's excellent. Thank you very much. Exams, gosh, they're coming up quite soon for the students who are studying with us at the moment. If you're considering moving on to a GCSE or A level or AS level, then mainly you're preparing to sit an exam. It may be you're taking a bit of time over it, but the outcome is that we would like to get you to the point where you can receive that bit of paper to show that you've gained the grades that you deserve. So we do have an exam booking service, and it's really important actually as a distance learning college, because there's quite a lot of difference around how you will operate and facilitate examinations. We have a network of trusted partner centres we've worked with for many years, and they will support you when you're taking your exam. But our internal team are there to facilitate that and move you forward. So whether you've got a non-examined assessment, or you might have access arrangements. Access arrangements have a variety of different aspects to them. It can be something quite as simple as having a rest break or a little bit of additional time, all the way up to requiring a reader, a scribe, or a private room. So our team are always busy supporting people with gathering the evidence to show to the exam board that that's a way of working that you would like, and that will help you access the final examination. The team are always busy, as I said, and the earlier you let us know that there is an access arrangement requirement, or you think there might be, it's something you're unsure of, then let us know. So then we can start to work with you to make sure we've got that provision in place for when you want to enter and sit your exams. And Louise, the exams and assessment manager, will be here with us to answer questions in that area. So we also, you may have heard sort of extracurricular activities, and we call supercurricular activities. So these aren't sport or art, which are really valuable, and you'll be accessing those types of things in your home life and with your family. These are things that really quite perhaps interconnect with the career or the subject areas that you're interested in. So we have a number of partners. Example there is Medic Mentors, but they're part of the Mentorverse, I think they call themselves. So lots of different and often very, very free events. They do some virtual workshops for those looking to go into medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, and we partner with them to offer these to you. So when you join us, there's on the Learn at NEC site, you'll find a whole section around boosting your learning and supercurricular activities that you can take part in. So it's not just about the pure academic study, it's giving you a broader view and a way of gaining some extra skills to add onto your personal learning statement and your applications. And if you're under 18, you'll have a parent or guardian who is supporting you. For under 18-year-olds, parent or guardian can have access to a progress tracker, which gives you a little bit of insight into how the young person is progressing through the course. We have a parent help hub where there's some information that will help you understand how the course is laid out. And more importantly, you then get access and alert to all the key messages we will be putting out, so that the young person can really focus on their studies. They don't have to think about exam timetable, deadlines, and those really important things, but maybe not at the front of mind for the young person at that moment. So as a parent or guardian, you are logged on to the progress tracker, and you will then receive around exams and assessment. And it's a way of working together. And obviously, if your young person is taking part in some of the pastoral support, it could be that you as a parent would like to have a session instead of the young person. And Karen's always happy to have conversations with parents as well. So we do as much as we can to really support you, support your young person. So it's part of that three-way partnership, really, isn't it? That collaborative way of working. And we like to hear from our parents and guardians. So we did do a survey. Really interesting to find out the key things, the benefits that they saw from a younger person joining a distance learning college, because it's a big step. You know, things may not be working well in the current school, but they're looking for choice. And all of these choices are for any student, to be honest. You could be in your 20s or 30s, coming back to education or retaking or adding to your suite of qualifications. So that flexibility, your personalised pace is really important. Quite a lot of time, particularly people who might have busy lives or may have a different way of looking at their learning, being able to concentrate on just one or two subjects can be really powerful. Often that's quite difficult to do in a school environment. Obviously, you can have individual support if you would like, and our structured programs are really popular for providing some live delivery for students so that they do have an opportunity to discuss on a face-to-face aspect with their colleagues and peers and with the tutor. It can be such a confidence boost, taking away things that perhaps have been a negative aspect in your life and giving you a real focus on your studies, and it becomes something that you are taking control of, which is really powerful. And as I said before, that growing independence that comes from learning at a distance travels with you into further and higher education and then into the workplace. So really important skills that you develop in learning in this model. So we're going to bring back the rest of the team. I can see there's been lots of questions, so thank you so much. And thank you for saying hello as well, and saying where you're calling from. It's really lovely. I'm just going to scroll back through the questions to where they began and see if there's anything that we can pull out. So I'm going back. Thank you. It's your first ever live chat, John. Well done. You see, even skills like that, really great. And the digital skills you learn when you're studying online really support you. A few of you considering languages, that's great. So I'd just like to say when the language assessments are taking place with the tutor, you can upload audio files, the tutor delivers audio feedback back. So you can really sort of tune in and have some practice sessions as well with the tutor around your language skills. I'm just running through the rest of the questions. Thank you. I won't be able to pronounce all the names because obviously it's often a name that's created from a user perspective, but we do start from age 13. So we feel that's about the right age for somebody to embark on a GCSE. But if you are supporting or you are a younger learner yourself, speak to the course advice team and we can always have a chat with you from a pastoral perspective as well, or you or your parents, to get an understanding of what sort of support there'll be in the home environment as well, so that we know that, you know, between us we can get the right sort of provision that you would like. Alfreda, I think it is, international student currently residing in the UK. I'd like to know if it's possible to enrol and sit A-levels without having completed GCSE, and whether there are any age restrictions. I don't know whether but I can take that, but I don't know whether there's anybody else who wants to pick that one up. Don't all rush at once. No, I'll pick that one up then. Thank you. I'm sure they all know the answer. So there's not any age restrictions per se. Some qualifications broader than A levels and GCSEs do have a 16-year-old cap on ensuring that the content is suitable from an age perspective. Regarding if you haven't sat GCSEs, again, it's a good one to talk through with the course advice team because it will depend on the subject, to be honest. It may be perhaps you're thinking, of A-level physics. If you haven't studied maths to a certain level, and we call that level 2 at GCSE, so it may be that you've studied in a high school internationally, but you don't have a GCSE, but you've got a high school certificate. And if you've studied certain subjects to a level 2 level, then that's absolutely fine. But we can have a look at your prior qualifications with you and see whether you either need to perhaps do a GCSE or whether you can move straight into the A-level programme. We want you to be successful. So there's nothing more demotivating than starting on a course of study and it isn't the right one for you. Sam, you've said, are GCSEs standalone for studying, or do you have a way to support us to understand whether our child is ready to embark on GCSE study? Anybody like to take that one? Shall I take that one as well? I'm not sure whether anybody can turn themselves off mute, maybe. So from a GCSE perspective, they are standalone in some respects. You can add lots of different GCSEs to your programme. But really, whether you're ready to embark on a GCSE is something that you perhaps need to discuss with your young person. There are some free online assessments that you could do, and it would also depend on prior attainment. So if the young person has been through a schooling in some way, then it's worth just looking back at those school reports to see whether they are suitable. And we can have a conversation with you because it's quite a holistic view, isn't it, whether somebody is ready for a GCSE or not. So please, just call in. We can have a conversation around the young person's prior education and see whether they would need to have something prior to the GCSE or whether they are ready to start. And what we do advise, the structured GCSE programme, if somebody came to us and said, my young person needs to study 5 GCSEs, the beauty of this model, and perhaps they're looking to study those over 2 years, which is often what happens, is that you can perhaps just study a couple and then you're getting a sense of whether they're right for you. You can take a little bit longer to study them as well, so you can use them and scaffold up your learning throughout. Soft banks. Hello, are there pre-recorded video lectures or NEC provides only reading materials? So that varies, actually. Thank you for your question. That varies through the course. Most of the courses have quizzes, some ability to make podcasts out of the different material, and a majority of them have some pre-recorded material as well. Sometimes they're just short little videos, and what we want to do is ensure that no one concept is used for delivering a piece of learning. So it may be a video is just sort of summarising something that you might have read through. There may have been some activities you've done. There may have been something you've watched or listened to. So really we look at a wide range of ways of delivering the learning to you, because that makes it truly inclusive. So we wouldn't just want a bank of live lessons, because that's what school is. It's a live lesson. It's not going to be different then. If you're studying in a school, you've got a live lesson in front of you. What our learning material and our adaptive courses in particular do is take you through the learning. You have some activities you do. You have a go at those activities, and then it might signpost you back somewhere else or give you something to stretch you a little bit more. So it creates a slightly more personalised and adaptive way forward. Yes, there'll be some videos, but not just videos, because otherwise it is just a bank of delivery that isn't really personalised to your way of learning. But there's a mixture of different inclusive ways. Thank you, John. There is no age limit. I wouldn't want to say what the oldest age is that we've had. Ali may know that, but I'm sure we've had somebody up to 100 who studied with us. Is that correct, Ali?
I think it is, yes. I mean, I think there's certainly people in their sort of 70s and 80s, definitely.
Yeah, very good. I was doing a little bit of analysis of our A-level History of Art course, which is, and actually we have a huge amount of more mature people, John, who are studying that course, for example. So really, you've been online and you've practiced a live forum today. It's just ensuring that you understand it's online, which you do. You're here, so that's wonderful. And it will help you develop your digital skills. It takes a bit of time, perhaps getting used to if you haven't been in a digital world very often, but definitely it will help you move forward if that's what you're wanting to do. And it's a great way of developing other skills. And John, obviously you're looking for French. So yes, there's audio that you listen to on the platform. We also have a license with Hodder, which is for ebooks. So these are developed specifically for the curriculum and they have lots of audio throughout them. So you just click on them and the audio magically appears and then you can listen to the language. And it's obviously doing that in a way that develops your skills as well. There's a question here on structured A-level courses and live lessons. I don't know whether any of the team want to pick up on the structured fast track courses and how they are delivered.
I can take that one if you'd like, Esther.
Thank you, Kirsten.
So I am part of the team that looks after the students who are on our structured fast track courses. And yes, there are what we call seminars as part of the structured fast track course syllabus. The tutors will give live sessions approximately once a month. It's usually one per topic. Those seminars are recorded so that students can go back and watch the recordings at a time that suits them if they're not able to attend the live session, or to use for revision purposes as well. And then obviously there are also the PDF content or the quizzes and the other elements of the course for learning as well.
Thank you very much, Kirsten. So that's our fast track structured A-level course, because you asked the question as well. I don't know what to call gaming crazes. It's great name though. So yes, that's our structured fast track course. Thank you. There's a question there about our partnerships and extra supercurricular. We have your details if you booked with us, so we can send you a little bit of information around how the supercurricular and extra partnerships work. But once you are a student with us, you get access to Learn at NEC that shows you all of that information, which is great. Laura, could you, I'm going to pick on people now, look at that. Can you take this question on the difference between a regular A-level course and an international A-level course? Just very briefly. I know it's quite complex, but just a very brief difference.
So the main difference is that the international A-level is modular and the regular A-level is linear. So with the regular A-level, you have 3 exams that you need to sit all in the same exam session at the end of the course, whereas the international A-levels has 6 units that you need to sit, and you can do those over different exam sessions. So the international A-levels are available in the summer, in October and January, and you can split the exams up in those sessions. The course materials might also cover some international curriculum as well, whereas the regular ones wouldn't. With the sciences, the regular A-levels also have a practical endorsement, whereas the international doesn't.
Super, thank you very much. And lots more information can be gained if you book a call with Laura and the team. You can ask some specific questions with them. The book a call is everywhere across the website, so you should be able to find that anywhere. Thank you. Next question. Can a home educated child take art history fast track A-level? Absolutely. We do have some bursaries for the A-level art history, but there are requirements of the bursary from the organisation that provided it to us, which is that the bursary is only for those who are already registered in a state school, because it's trying to encourage the breadth of choice in the state school. But that doesn't mean anybody else can't enrol on it. Absolutely. So again, you could book a call with the team and chat through it's the first year we've done the art history fast track. So pleased that you're interested in it. It's a lovely course. Really interesting, fantastic tutors. So we get really positive feedback, and it's a really brilliant lens to look through the world at. I think it's a fascinating course, so thank you. Remote exams via Pearson. Lou, can you pick up on that one? I haven't mentioned specifically the course, but I think there's some restrictions around that, isn't there?
Yeah, so there are restrictions. It's not for all Pearson subjects. So there's a number of IGCSEs, and then there's also a number of international AS or A-level units that can be sat remotely. There are some additional requirements that you need to be able to meet in order to do that, but all of the information is available on Moodle.
Thank you very much. And we are an approved Pearson online school, so we can offer and facilitate remote exams if that is something that you would like to explore. So thank you. As Lou said, there are some restrictions. Thanks, Lou. So Mauricio, I'm going to say that in a really Spanish name, but it probably isn't. But do your international A-level courses offer live lessons? So our international A-level courses are a core model, which is self-directed learning. As I said, a mixture of different models, but it's pure self-directed, so it doesn't have any live sessions in it at all. If you wanted to add one-to-ones, you can do. So you can put in a request to the student support team, say you're interested in having a one-to-one with your tutor. That's at an additional fee. And then the student support team will see whether there's availability from your tutor or another tutor who's a specialist in that subject. And you can ask that at any point during your course. It doesn't have to be a scheduled, regular event. It may be you just want a bit of time to run through an assignment, or it could be that you are looking to prepare for an exam and you want some live delivery, or you're feeling a little bit stuck on a part of the course. But you can message the tutor, of course, if you've got, and that's included in the course. If you've got some questions for your tutor, please do message them. I've been out, then we have, we've been out of education a couple of years, want to change careers. I want to do an A-level English literature and history. Do I need to go over my GCSE content, or can I go straight away? I'm happy to pick that up. I don't know, Sarah, whether you, being an ex-English teacher, I don't know whether that's something you feel you could add something to the conversation on.
Yeah, absolutely. But firstly, brilliant, great, come back to study. That's excellent. My advice probably would be that you don't need to go over your notes in intricate detail before you start studying for A-level, but it's worth having a look back at things that you would consider to be sort of key skills and core terminology and things like that. So from the English perspective, I'm thinking about, those kind of key pieces of terminology around looking in detail at texts and things like that. Not because you'd be significantly disadvantaged, but I think it would just be easier to pick up the A-level threads if you had that to hand. So I hope I've answered that fully.
Lovely. And just read. If you're just studying English literature, I think you probably say that, Sarah. It's like just nice to read a lot. So yes, I mean, we are an open college. It's a good question, and we offer advice around prior attainment, but we try to be really transparent about the level of learning that the course is and the amount of hours that you will need to study. And then as much as information you have, you can then make the decision yourself. But again, speak to the course advice team. They'll be really happy to have a chat. But thank you, Sarah. It's really useful. Terminology is one of those key things, isn't it, that you forget quite quickly. Thank you, Tammy. My son is home learning, but would like to work towards GCSE English and Maths, but he missed a lot of school. He is now almost 15. That sounds wonderful. Well done, your son now being ready to really move forward with his learning. It depends on really how much, obviously it's tricky to say, but how much he's missed. We do have functional skills courses, which could be a good bridge, stepping stone into then a more formal GCSE course, but also depending on what your son is looking to use his GCSEs for. Because functional skills courses are accepted from a progression perspective. The level 2 courses, you can progress on to further and higher education and apprenticeships with those. But they're shorter, they may be a little bit of a bridge and perhaps highlight some areas that your son might need to work through before he embarks on a full GCSE. Set date for enrolment. say Laura. Laura, you can take this one.
So with our standard courses, you can enroll at any time throughout the year. With our fast track courses, they open in May for a September start, as with our structured GCSE courses, they're June for a September start. But all other courses you can enroll on at any time.
Super. So we have a rolling cohort. People are joining the course all the time, which is lovely. So lots of different people coming in, different stages and different, perceptions. So it's really nice. Can you explain more about the Fast Track A-Level Art History and where we can get a list of costs for optional extras? Maybe we pick that up. We'll make sure we send you an email that you can sort of liaise with the course advice team on that. We've got some information on the website about the Fast Track A-Level Art History, but the course isn't open yet, but we'll soon be open for enrolments, but the course advice team will be able to send you lots of information on that. So we'll grab your email from the list and we'll do that. Thank you. How often can a student book one-to-one sessions with a tutor and what platform do you use? Ali, is that one you could pick up?
Yes, I think I can. I can certainly try.
I'm sure you can.
So you can book a one-to-one tutorial with your tutor. It may not always be the tutor you've been allocated for your course because they may not be available to do tutorials, but it'll be a subject expert tutor. You can book one. There's no limit on them. Obviously, there is, as was mentioned, there's an additional fee to that, and they are delivered on a platform called Big Blue Button, which sits within the learning platform. So you don't have to go off to another platform. The tutorials are held within the course on that that platform there. But there's no limit as to how many tutorials you can book. It's just up to how you feel it's going to support your learning.
Thanks. So we do have some who book regular ones, don't we?
Yeah,
and others
we
who
do,
just want
yeah.
one or two. So the team will do their best to facilitate that. Thanks, Ali. That's brilliant. Can you switch from IGCSE to regular A-level or best to stick to the IGCSE? I'm presuming that's about progression to whether it's an international A-level or a standard A-level, or whether you've studied a GCSE before, not an IGCSE. Obviously, if you've started a programme of study, yes, perhaps continue with that. But if you're looking for a different organisation to deliver your learning, then we do have mapping in place. So if you're studying a GCSE and want to move to an IGCSE, we can look at that with you to see how feasible that is. From an A-level perspective, you can move into standard or international A-levels with either international or standard GCSEs. If that makes sense. I'm talking in riddles now, but hopefully that makes sense. So the progression, the body of knowledge is similar. And a lot of A-levels, though they require prior learning, they don't specify a prior specification or exam board. It's more about the body of knowledge that you've gained in some prior studies. So that, hopefully that's answered your question. And then another complex one. Thank you, Edward. Can NEC support a student who begins A-level with NEC but then transitions to a traditional UK brick and mortar school for the second year of A-levels to ensure successful transition? Really, I can start with this one, but it may be Karen or Sarah might have some thoughts on that as well. Yes, in essence, yes. So somebody could study with us. Perhaps they're needing some time out from being in school, but the hope is that they want to return to the school environment, which is lovely. And if that's their goal, we would do what we could to support with that. It would be useful to know the specification the school is looking at studying so that we make sure the student is following the right exam board and really the sort of sequence of learning that the school does. But it's not sort of definite if that information isn't available. And then we can work with the school. Obviously, we work with schools and local authorities all the time to have a discussion around what that transition might look like. I don't know whether there's anything else, Sarah or Karen, to add. Super, thank you very much. So yes, and you've added a bit more specifically for the question above, guiding and collaborating with the family and other school. Yes, absolutely. Karen, you're doing this all the time with students, parents, local authorities, aren't you, and schools. So yeah, we're always busy doing that because we really want to ensure that young person's transition is as positive as possible. So absolutely, Edward, to be honest. Thanks, Tammy, for your additional comment that he's missed since year 4. Maybe we can pick that up on email directly. And there's lots we could explore there with you. So thank you. And thank you for sharing that. I think we're getting to the end of our call with lots of questions. Thank you so much. I live in Costa Rica. Oh, the time zone. Yes, that's a really, really good. We would do, Mauricio, we would speak to the tutors. We would put out to the tutors who can deliver at these times. And we would do our best to find someone who can do that for you. So depending on the subject choice and the availability of the tutors. So it's not a no, we can't guarantee a definite yes, because it's a different time zone, of course. But we would do our best to find somebody who could deliver to you in that time zone. Often some of our tutors are teachers, so they're, they may be working late in the evening, or they may be available early in the morning and happy to put a session in. Thank you. So we've gone over time, but such a wide range of questions. It was really important to get to them all. Thank you so much for all being so engaged with the session. This will be available to watch back. And we will also reach out to all who have booked via Eventbrite to enable you to start a conversation with the course advice team and share a little bit more information to you. I'd like to thank all the team members for giving over some of your time today. Thank you so much. And we look forward to welcoming you to the National Extension College and supporting you with your learning journey. Thank you very much.